Okay, so at this point, we basically have got what we would say is our appendicular skeleton done. Um, Meaning that we have like our limbs done, right? So I got a leg, I've got an arm, and I've got a head. Now I just need to get the torso together, and that's going to kind of put it all together, okay? Um, and that will be a little bit of a thing to do, but we'll do the best we can. With all of this, just remember that, you know, yours might be a little bit different. You might have to change some things in order to make it work for you, okay? So, that being said, let's get to it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the shoulder area, okay? Now, you might think that we would do it like we did this, where I went in, okay? But it's a little bit different where this kind of comes up and we want to have it on an angle. The arm here, you want to have basically like the rest of the edges. I just want a crisscross cut until basically you get to the armpit. Do not go like up and over at an angle, okay? It should not be like that. Because I want it to flow into the arm in a little bit different of a way. So to try and explain it, all of your muscles have an origin and an insertion point, which means that they attach to one bone at a location, and then usually there's like a notch or something for it to attach to, right, through a tendon. And then it attaches to another bone through a tendon onto a specific spot on the bone. And that's how you move things, because then the bone pivots, and what happens is the muscle will squeeze itself together. And when it squeezes itself together, it forces the bone to move with it. And the bone will pivot on an area. So for instance, this pec area, you have your origin spot right on your manubrium, right on your sternum here, on your breastplate. Okay. And then it will insert onto the humerus, onto this long slit part. So to kind of show you what this looks, you can actually feel it. So if you put, like, let's say you put your arms out in a T, right? So let's say if you stood up straight, you'd look like a T. I want you to put your one arm out, and then with your other arm, feel what your pec is. This will work for both males and females. So I know obviously a female will have a little bit more stuff in the way, if you will. But if you start medial, like where your breastplate is, and then feel out to basically underneath where your armpit is, right? You'll feel that there's like a muscle there, right? So below your shoulder, you'll feel that like on either side of your armpit, you kind of have like two muscles going across that are basically inserting into your humerus, okay? That one on the front, on your anterior side, you can actually kind of grab a hold of it. That is your pec. Your pec is sliding in under your shoulder muscle, which is the if you have your arm up right now, it's the top part here. That's your shoulder muscle. That's your deltoid. It's kind of sliding underneath it. So basically, your pec comes up and inserts into here. Okay. So what I want to do is when we get to this part, I actually want to have the edge loops flow in and across this way and around. So a lot of times in drawings, what they'll do is they'll actually draw a line that kind of comes up and around the shoulder, and then comes around the shoulder and around to the lats here. So see how like there's a line right here and it kind of goes up. So this does the opposite. All your muscles generally have, I mean, they should, they'll have two counteracting muscles. So one will make it go up. So like your bicep will pull your, adduct your forearm, right? So like if you make your muscle, right, your bicep pulls your arm inwards, your forearm, and then your tricep pulls your arm out. So most of the times there's usually one on one side and then one on the other side, and they do typically opposite tasks. So this one will pull my arm forward, right? Like if you're doing butterflies, and this one will pull my arm backwards if I don't know, I don't do exercise. You probably have noticed. We'll pull your arm backwards, okay? So that's the idea behind it. So I want my edge loop to actually flow across and around this area. So I'm not going to actually pull this up like this, because then the edge loop wouldn't do that. So we're going to do something a little bit differently here. Probably didn't explain that well, but at some point I'll probably talk about anatomy a little bit later on, even though it'd be helpful right now, but there's only so many things we can cover at a time. So what we're going to do is actually something a little bit different. I want to kind of help this kind of cup a little bit. So I'm actually going to take here and I'm going to pull these down. Okay. Pull this down. Like so. All right, so basically you can see it's sort of, I might went a little too far. Basically I want to, you know, your deltoid, right, comes here. I want to kind of just cup it so it goes on either side of it kind of thing. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is roughly around the halfway mark. So meaning if I were to look at this, where my midline is, okay, I want to go around to the other midline here, all right? And then I want to have like a center line here. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say that this is my center line. I'm going to use this one as my guide, okay? And then I'm going to count a certain number over and count a certain number over. So we'll start with this as my center line. And you might have more or less. So just make sure you have even on both sides, okay? So I'll say 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count by edges. So this is my center. I'm going to pull up just so I know which one it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to go to this line. I'm just going to pull this one up so I know which one it is. Pull this guy down a little. Okay, so I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go from this center line to here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll pull this one up a little bit. Let's pull this down so it's a little more obvious. Okay, so I want to make sure I have the same number on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to start making my edges like this. So, okay, pull that up a little bit, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll just do the same thing like that. Okay, then I'm going to do my center one. Let's see if this will even go. It did. Good. There. And then my center one there. Okay. Now, normally, I'm going to go right to the top of where this is here, okay? I'm going to use this kind of as my spot. But this is what I would like you to do. Mine's actually not good. That's not where I normally would put it. It would be better to put it right here. So, you see how I have this deltoid muscle? This would go up to about here. And then you would see the trapezius muscle, right? Or you would see the clavicle here kind of goes up. If you put your arm up like in a T fashion, you can feel your deltoid muscle, right, where your shoulder is. Notice that there's a bump there, but then there's a divot, kind of like how you have a pit of your neck. There's a pit that'll be like right in this area. That's basically where you want this outside edge to be, right there. Because you're basically trying to cup around your deltoid here. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and just cut a line in between here just because I'm holding control and clicking, and that should be a little bit better. And then I'll just move it over a little. Keep it round. Okay, good. I can pull this down now. Just using that as a guide, and that looks fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just go around like this. So we're going to go boom, and boom, and boom. Come on. And boom, and boom, and boom. Okay, great. All right, and let's do. Do I want to do another one? Okay, so either I want to go up or around again. It depends on how many edge loops I want to have up here. It wouldn't be bad to have a bunch because I got all this geometry to go up into here. So I am going to just go ahead and cut across. Say like this. Oops. Is it going to do it? Oh, it did it. That's weird. Okay, boom, boom, and okay. And boom. And then we're just going to go doink, 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 doink. Oops, need another one. Doink. And doink. Okay. And then I'm just going to hold control and put another edge loop there, another one there. And then I'm just going to go doink, 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 and doink. There we go. And then we'll just smooth that out. Okay. So this does a couple of things. It's going to help create that kind of round shape for my shoulder. See how these edges, if I hold control, see how they're going around them. I don't know what's going on there, but it's going around it. So it's creating a nice kind of roundish shape. And it will, you know, and it's also rounding out my shoulder area here. So I end up with a little bit of a divide here, but that's fine. It's actually kind of helpful too, because that way my arm goes up here, and then where inserts, you have basically a split here. So this will go to the up, and this will go to the down. And yeah, so there we go. So I'm just going to pull this over a little bit more. I'm just going to get these more lined up with my various pieces here. Yours obviously will be a little bit different. You're going to kind of have to do whatever you got to do for your character. Okay. Now, even if you have a character that has like a shirt on or whatever, you still want to do the same process. So here, this should probably be roughly around this area, I would say. But obviously I don't have that. So I'm going to do this little shoulder pad. And then when I get done with my shoulder pad, I'm going to restart the video. I'm going to pause it, do my little shoulder pad weird thing here. And then when I'm done with it, I'll start it up again. Okay, so the fin is done. So now what we're going to do is just cut across in here to do my pec area. Okay, so should be pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to kind of keep going this way with it, more or less. Maybe we'll start under here. So I'm just going to go here to here, and then here to here, here to here. Helps if you do the little thing. Here to here. There we go. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Boom, boom, and snap. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty okay. It's a good idea. So obviously it's different whether it's male or female. But you know, I got a male guy, so what I'm gonna do is just put like a smaller one on the bottom for kind of the underhang, and then this part would be more or less the overhang. But I do a good job of sculpting it, but hopefully you get the idea there. All right. Good. So let's see. I want to do. I think here I'm going to divide it up here. So I'm going to go like here to here, like that, and like that. Okay. Like so. And like that. Okay. And that will allow me to create more of kind of a rounded breast line. So you can see now we'll get this nice kind of roundish part here. All right. Let's see. Okay. There. Just gonna go boom, boom. Like so. And let's say we just go right to the top of like where the clavicle would be. And then we'll just say, let's cut here. So I have one for here too. So boom, boom, boom. Great. Good. I'm just going to pull this down a little bit to make it a little more even. So you can see there's a nice little flow there. Let's hold shift and just smooth that out a little. Okay. Good. All right. All right. So when we get to the neck here, let's go ahead. I'm just going to work the neck down. So I'm going to go put a point here and here. And I'm just going to straight up go all the way around. Starting to get a little bit slow. So I'm just going to go to edit, delete all by type, history. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, boom. All right, and one last one. Okay, good. All right, so looks pretty okay. Just gonna spread this love out a little. Go like that, and we'll spread this out a little bit. Spread this out. Okay. So one of the problems that you're probably going to notice that we're going to have is that we're going to have too much geometry here for the neck going into not as much down here. So we'll probably have to fix that in a couple of ways. One way that I like to do it is I will make kind of a pit of the neck. So meaning like where this is, I will kind of put that in there. So I'm going to go boom to boom like this. Oops. Make sure these are snapped together. Okay. Then we'll go boom to boom. Okay. And this is good because this is kind of right where the pit of the neck would be anyway. I'm just going to hold control and put one here too. There we go. Just because it was... so this will be kind of good because it's kind of where the clavicle comes out. But where there was once 2, there is now 1. So when I connect it here, you can see I've reduced where there was to less, which is good. Okay. So that's a little bit better. But we are going to run into issues, obviously, where we're just not going to have enough geometry. So we'll have to figure something out with that as we go. So let's go like this. This to this. And I'm just going to keep going out a little bit here. Let's go ahead and put some down here. Okay. Let's see, here, here, here. No? Oh, okay. Okay. Move over and come on. It just wants to do triangles. Oh, there's like an extra one here. Okay, Control and Shift to delete that. Boom, boom. And call that acceptable. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to look and we're going to decide where I want the center to be. So I'm going to say it's going to be this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect this one to there. Like that's a good... actually, I don't like that. Okay. I'm going to take that off. All right. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing here and sort of terminate a couple. Actually, I'm going to look up here. And I wonder if I could get rid of a line. So let's see. So I'm going to go back here and basically utilize the same thing I did earlier. I'm actually going to get rid of this one and this one. Come on, there you go. I'm going to go click and click. Okay, like so. And then we'll go like this, and we'll go like this. And we'll just kind of pull those, snap those together. Okay. Because if you actually feel the back, you'll feel your 7th cervical vertebrae is back there. And that will allow me to push these this way. Push this back this way a little bit. And we'll move this over as well. And try to get more of these to go this direction. Okay. See if we can push this a little bit. So I can get to go down the back a little bit more. Let's go down a little bit more here. It'll make it a little bit easier to go down because I can terminate them somewhere or cut them into the legs here. Let's go a little bit more. Obviously, it's within reason because you can only go so far, but I'm just going to hold Shift and smooth this out here. Okay. So we'll call that good. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and do something similar here to what I did over here. So we'll do here and here and here, like so. And then there to there. Boom, boom. Oops, let me put another one there. Come on. There it is. Boom. And boom. Okay. I'm just going to push this a little bit more over here. Okay. That's a little bit better. All right. And then we'll just put one here and one here. Let's see. I guess we'll go like this with this. Go here and here. Alright, this is looking kind of janky, but it is what it is. Alright, and then let's see if we pull this back a little bit. We probably put, I guess, one here and one here. Just pull this back up a little. I'm going to hold shift and just try to smooth this out. Smooth out. So depending on your character, you're going to have to do different things to make it work. So, because it's highly unlikely that you're going to end up with the same amount of stuff as me. All right. Not super happy with that, but it's just there's a really strong pull right there. Might try and fix that later. Okay, and let's just go down here to here, boom, and then we can go down here to here. All right, now we can go like this, and we'll say, if I want to cut it, we'll just go like that. Pull this here. Let's just put another edge loop here. Cut that across. There to there. To here. Okay. And then from there, I can start to go down. Like I said, I'm not real happy with this. I might change something about that later on, but for now, it'll have to do. This is one of those things where, like, you'll just get more skilled at it and understand it a little bit better as you go. A lot of trial and error, especially when you first start out. It's just trial and error. Like, you just click on it and go. A lot of what I do is just like put the pieces down and see if it fits, and then if it doesn't, just delete it and do it again, and then see if something else will work until you get something that, you know, works properly. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Boop-a-da-boop. Okay. So obviously half the do's no good, but we'll fix that in a little bit. Alright, let's see what we got going on underneath this arm here. So we'll just start splitting it here. And I am just going to match these up. Boom, 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 boom. Like so. All right. Let's do one more edge loop up here, and then we'll start doing the bottom part. And then, actually, I'll do that in the next video, just so that this one doesn't get too long. Come on. You can do it. There we go. And boom. And then it gets a little in here, so I'm just going to hold shift and try to smooth this out a little bit. Okay. Just to spread out the love. Okay. And I'm going to call that good on this video, and then the next one we will approach the crotch area and the butt. We just want to make sure, it kind of depends on the character. So my guy's got a really tight little butt, so I think I'm going to probably make an edge loop around it. But sometimes if your character is kind of flat here, like if I was doing a female, I might accentuate it too, but he's definitely got kind of like a little bubble butt, so I'm going to try and like wrap around it in a way that makes sense. But sometimes your character is very flat here, like if he's just wearing baggy pants or something, then you would kind of want to just go straight up. You wouldn't really do anything too crazy here. But we'll do that in the next one.